All right, everybody, happy Sunday night. Welcome to Music on the Menu, live on the river here on 104.9 FM. Alan Stout here, as I always am on Sundays from 9 to 10, playing your regional music from artists right here in northeastern Pennsylvania. Very special show tonight. Got some special guests in the studio. Mike Lello and Matt Morgis from the website Highway 81 Revisited are here, and we're talking about the new Snow Tracks compilation that you can download from the website, which features all local artists. So, gentlemen, great to see you. Thanks for coming in. I hope you had a great holiday the other day.
Thanks for having us.
And that you're ready for the next one coming up. Props to you guys for staying on top of local music and putting out, I call it a record because that's what I call releases, but it is, as I said, a digital download that is available through your website. So talk to us a little bit about this digital release that you're putting out for the holiday season.
Well, what happened is a young woman named Kristen Powers contacted me. She's with a local blog called Scranton Made, and she owns a vintage shop called Green Being on Adams Ave in Scranton.
Okay.
And she put together an event called Arts on the Square back in the summer, which she invited us to participate in, which was great, and we were grateful for it, and it was a big success. And now they're doing Holiday on the Square. So she contacted me and said, what about putting out some sort of compilation album of local bands? So it was her idea. I don't want to take credit for the idea. She said, but how could we afford to produce a CD? I said, well, you don't. I said, why would you even do that? I said, people are just going to put it in their iTunes anyway. People, for the most part, don't really buy CDs. I said, let's print out a nice, what would be the album cover. Let's do that. We could hand that out to promote it with the URL on it and get people to download it. So from there, we had a business meeting at the Bog, which most of my business meetings are at.
The Bog is a great bar on Adams Avenue in Scranton, for those of you who might not be familiar.
And we sat down and kind of made a list of what bands we'd like to have on there. And we wanted to represent different genres. We wanted to represent the types of artists that we cover on the site. I think we've covered all of them except for one so far, which we will be covering soon.
We're going to talk about the site a little bit during the show as well.
And we also, to be honest with you, I wanted to pick artists that would most likely say yes. So we didn't deal with having to go deal with record labels for the most part. And because I think our meeting was in September or October, so I didn't want managers saying, well, wait a minute, you're not selling this, it's free, what's our cut? And and I could understand if they got an email saying, who are these weirdos contacting us? So these were people that already knew us for the most part, or friends or acquaintances through our jobs. So that's where it came from. And everyone we asked, 100%, everyone said yes.
Well, we're going to play pretty much the whole record here tonight. We've got about 10 songs that we're going to play during the course of the hour. We'll be talking to Mike not only about the Snow Tracks release, but also what he does with Highway 81 Revisited, what he's done in music journalism. A very accomplished music journalist who's done some magnificent things in that vein, and Matt as well, who I've known both these guys for a long time now, so I'm excited to have them here, and I'm just happy to see you guys too. So let's get the music rolling here with one of the tracks from Snow Tracks. This one's called Cabinet. Honey, You Don't Know My Mind.
faith, they will subside. But still you really tried. You almost made it out alive. Tucked inside a vat of lies. You trust and faith, they will subside. But still you really tried. You almost made it out alive. That Renaissance man never felt guilt for his pleasures. That Renaissance man took pride in all his treasures. That Renaissance man always lived with careless measure. That Renaissance man relished in his
Cherokee Red here on Music on the Menu Live, a song called Renaissance Man. Before that, we heard brand new music from Cabinet, a song called Honey, You Don't Know My Mind. Both of those tracks can be downloaded through the Highway 81 Revisited website, and they're part of the new compilation Snow Tracks. Hanging out here with Mike Lello and Matt Morgis from Highway 81 Revisited. Now, that URL, Mike, what is it exactly?
If you just go to highway81revisited.com,
That's what I thought.
There'll be so much. It'll be hard not to find.
I've
this
been
album.
on the site many times, but I usually click it on Facebook.
Right.
So
Sure.
I wasn't sure what the URL was. So I'm glad
Yeah.
we made that clear. If you're not a Facebooker, you could still find it, of course. Let's talk about those two tunes we just played. Obviously, bands that were willing to contribute to this record, and of course, Cabinet, a nice coup there with a brand new song.
Yeah, it's a great one to lead off with. I contacted Cabinet's manager, Bill Orner, to see if they wanted to be a part of this, and he said, yeah. And because it's free and I wasn't giving them a ton of time, I said, it could be a previously released track, it could be a live track, it could be an outtake. He goes, no, we'll give you something special, something unreleased. And it's a cover tune by a gentleman named J. Scott Skinner, who I wasn't familiar with. He was born in like 1870-something. I had to look him up. But it's been covered by a few groups. Nitty Gritty Dirt Band covered it. So it's kind of a bluegrass, almost like a standard.
It's a good fit for the Cabinet.
Yeah, and the thing about Cabinet, like you go to see them, and I mean this is a compliment, you can't tell their covers that they play from the originals. They're
Right.
writing in that tradition. So that's pretty cool. So we're really happy to have that song.
And what about the other one we just spun here?
Cherokee Red. The song's called Renaissance Man, and it's from their new EP called 432. And just Cherokee Red is an interesting band. They're named after my favorite soda, but they're I think at least one of them lives in Philadelphia. They're kind of spread out. They're kind of more of a Wilkes-Barre band than a Scranton band. They play a lot in New York City, Philadelphia, Brooklyn, and they've been described as dream pop. And I think they sound a little bit like Mazzy Star, which was a pretty big band in the 90s. So they're really interesting. Female fronted, two different girls sing. It's really different kind of band, especially for this area.
This is a real eclectic release that Mike and Highway have put out with Snow Tracks, and we're like I said, we're spending the whole hour on it tonight. Let's play another one right now. This one's from Kid Icarus, a song called Claws.
Gonna shake off your skin, gonna rattle your bones. like an apocalypse that happens at home. An imaginary song, an aluminum hit. Now it's all over, maybe everybody hit. And things pull together, and things rip apart, deep in the wastelands of the human heart. And she is an expert, she's got claws that clutching at your heart, and now you're grasping at straws. And I know there's nothing left for me. And I know always a view for liberation. And I know that nothing happens to me. And I know that it's a long goodbye. You put down your weapons, you claw the night. There's no use in lying, she's got second sight. And I wish I could say that this used to be me. I wish I could tell you I don't like who I see. And people glue together, and people rip apart, deep in the wasteland of the human heart. And I used to be an expert, I used to have claws that clutched at my heart, and now I'm grasping at straws. And I know there's nothing left for me. And I know always a view for liberation. And I know that nothing happens to me. And I know that it's a long goodbye. Gather round the stove with flowers in your bones. You skin a little thing you've got your best dress on, so rise up from the lawn and dance with me. Dead end of the street where everyone you meet is a skinny little thing too. Rise up from the ground and follow me down to the graveyard, baby. And don't forget your candy.
Sugar skulls are gifts that can be given to the living and the dead. Times you taste the sugars in your hair. Mezcal tissue, miracles, pendemuecos, ofrendas for my friends who said being dead was just the end.
Made in Mexico. Dave the Devil's crazy. In Mexico. In Mexico. I see a lovely glow beneath your sombrero. Katrina, you're lovely and you lost weight, dear. 'Cause everyone you know is about to end up here. I'd have let you home with the skeletons. They're like it in the closet and they wanna be alone.
Candles lit for everybody, everybody, not just one but two. Will remember me, might forget you. Candles lit to stay the night. A pillow that's all a
The Great Party here on Music on the Menu Live with a song called H.O. in Mexico. And before that, we heard Kid Icarus with a song called Claws. We're talking about the new Snow Tracks compilation that has been released by the Highway 81 Revisited Music website. And we're talking with Mike Lello, the founder of that website, and Matt Morgis, who's been quiet here, but he'll chime in eventually. We'll get him in here. But I want to tell the audience tonight a little bit about Mike and Matt. I've known Mike now for probably 15 years. I think I met Mike in around 1998 when he started writing for the Times Leader. He started doing some music writing for us. At the time, I was there covering the concerts and doing the local music scene and the music column. Mike had come in with similar interests, and so we worked together for quite a while in the features department. Then I went over to the Weekender, and I did that for a couple years. And when I left the Weekender, there was an opening for the editor's position, and I recommended Mike apply for it, and he did get it, and he did it for a couple years. So we have a lot in common, and we've gone back a long time. So that's a little bit of your background. And then about a year and a half ago, 2 years ago, you launched the website?
It's going to be 3 years in March.
3 years ago?
Yeah.
So you're still at the Weekender?
No.
How long have you been gone from the Weekender? Is time flying on me that fast?
February of 2011.
Okay. Oh wow. All right. It seems like 2 years ago to me, but I guess I've been gone for 2 years.
Yeah, it's going to be 4.
So,
yeah.
Yeah, and I left the Weekender in 2007. And that's when you came in.
Right.
Okay. So Highway 81 Revisited is your vision of a way to cover music online through the local, bringing other writers together, obviously spearheaded by your own vision. Tell us a little bit about it. What was the idea for it? How did it get started? What do you hope that it offers readers?
Well, when I left the Weekender, I still wanted to write about music. I still wanted to write. I was between jobs, and I looked into some freelancing, and it either didn't pay well or just people weren't getting back to me, and it was kind of a hassle. So I'm like, why don't I just start my own website? And there was a lot of one thing at the Weekender I was proud of was trying to improve the website, and we introduced some things like the Weekender Sessions and MP3 of the Week. I'm like, well, why can't I apply that to my own thing?
Sure.
So started the website almost as an experiment to see if people would see it as a legitimate thing. And I was kind of lucky because of the background that you just described. Some people did see it as a legitimate thing just because of
your own reputation.
Because I was doing it, like not to brag about it, but even though it was a startup.
You have a very good reputation with music in this valley.
Thank you. It was a new project, but it wasn't a new person.
Mm-hmm.
And that also corresponded. If I emailed a publicist and asked for tickets to review a show or an interview, I wouldn't have to explain to them who I was.
They knew you.
And like, oh, this is a new thing, but we're happy to help out to an extent. So that's kind of what it was. And bringing in different people, a host of really talented writers and photographers, former coworkers, friends.
Nicky Mascali is doing some writing.
There's a guy named
Matt Morgis.
Matt Morgis is our web guy, guru, pretty much. Jason Reed Miller, photographer.
Love his pictures.
Jesse Fotz, photographer that came on recently. He's doing a great job. Patty Bobeck, another photographer. And Mike Lester, a fellow writes for the Bloomsburg Press Enterprise, a news writer pretty much. And he's been doing show reviews and stuff. And we've got to be friends through it, too. So basically, it's kind of people that I've become friends with or whatnot. And, yeah, so far so good. We just hit 1,000 Facebook likes, which was a nice milestone for us.
What's the Facebook URL? Facebook.com/
It's just /Highway 81 Revisited.
Nice and easy, okay. So make sure you like that page. And you know what? Now that we're talking about it here, yeah, I remember it. I guess maybe it's because I got these little kids that are growing up so fast on me, but a year ago seems, 3 years ago seems like a year ago to me anymore. But yeah, it's been a couple of years now since the site's been up and active and posting frequently. I want to thank you because when I moved the show over here to the river 2 months ago, you were kind enough to give us a shout on the website, and I appreciate that. We're going to keep the music rolling now here from this Snow Tracks compilation. This one's from a band called Needle Points, and it's a track called Biting the Rose.
Everybody's got something up their sleeve.
Cold Coffee here on Music on the Menu, live on the river with a song called Insomnia to Hold You. And before that, we heard Needlepoint with a song called Biting at the Rose. Both tracks can be heard on the new Snow Tracks compilation through Highway 81 Revisited website. Mike, officially, it's available for download later in the week, correct?
December 6th.
Friday, yeah.
Yes, sir.
And that's the same day that the event is that you mentioned in
Yeah,
Scranton?
it's Friday and Saturday. Mostly Saturday, but it kicks off Friday.
Kicks off Friday night. Now, Mike's been talking here throughout the whole show about other people's music that, and how he got to put this. But Mike's had a really interesting life with music himself. As I mentioned, we go back about 15 years. Accomplished music journalism, Keystone Press Award winner at The Weekender, interviewed some of the most recognizable names in rock and roll, including some people that are in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Mike, who are some of your favorite interviews that you've done?
All the Grateful Dead guys are really interesting. Phil Lesh is one that I got thanks to you when I was working at the Times Leader. I remember Bob Nosek said, I think Mike likes Phil Lesh because I was wearing a T-shirt once that pretty much said so. So he was coming to Montage playing with Bob Dylan, and I was a little bit freaked out and about 23 years old, and he was maybe going to call it a certain time, maybe going to call it another time. So, okay. So I was working as laying out pages, and I was listening to my Discman at the time, tells you when it was. I was listening to a live Grateful Dead thing with Phil Lesh singing, and the phone rang, and it was him.
That's pretty cool.
And it turned out to be a good interview. I was nervous about my recorder, but I interviewed him a couple other times, got to meet him, and the other guys, Bob Weir and Bill Kreutzmann and Mickey Hart, and I guess I talked to all the major surviving members, so that was cool. Yeah, and they're all pretty laid-back guys. What goes hand in hand with that, I'd say, with the Allman Brothers, kind of the same type of guys, a little edgier,
yeah,
I would say.
A little crustier.
Yeah, especially if you read Greg Allman's book. Very honest book. Great book. Greg Allman was cool. Derek Trucks, really laid back. Talked to him when he was maybe 18 and playing at Murray's when he was just joining the Allmans.
And what's also interesting about your career is, so you're writing for the daily newspaper and you're getting these interviews. And at the time we were owned by Knight Ridder.
Right.
And so a lot of times when Mike and I would write a story, it would not only appear in the Times Leader, but it would go out on the National Wire, so it would run all over the country. And so that helped us with the credentials, too,
right,
because you could tell the publicist, hey, if you give me 15 minutes on the phone, I might be able to hit 8 million people.
Sure.
But what I've been very impressed with you is that since launching the Highway 81 Revisited website, you continue to get some pretty big interviews. Yoko Ono.
Yeah, Yoko Ono, Alice Cooper, Don Felder from the Eagles. Yeah, I was excited about that. One that kind of was a little under the radar that really took off. This new band started called the Winery Dogs, and it's Billy Sheehan. People know him from Mr. Big.
Oh, yeah.
He played on the big David Lee Roth albums.
Incredible bass player.
Yeah, he's maybe the most well-known bass player like in hard rock. Mike Portnoy used to play at Dream Theater, and this somewhat unknown guy, Richie Kotzen, who's kind of the star of the band. Played with Poison, most notably, in Mr. Big a little. And when I asked for that, they gave me the interview. They were happy to get the press, and in the interim, the band started getting bigger. The album was charting. They're selling out shows, and I was able to get into their first ever U.S. show at B.B. King's and review that. And I think if I asked maybe a couple weeks later, the answer might have been, sorry, can't do it.
Yeah,
so
your timing.
Your timing's got to be right, too.
And these credentials help the website, too. So, again, check it out, highway81revisited.com. We're going to play a song now by a group called Abstract Peoples, a tune called The Show. And this is a little bit different for this show because we pretty much play rock and roll music on here and pop music. We've got a little hip-hop here vibe. Tell us a little bit about this track.
Well, yeah, it's different to the compilation, too, so I'm really excited that we're going to be able to play it here tonight. It's a hip-hop group, Abstract Peoples, fronted by Gino Lispy, who people may know from his solo work as a hip-hop artist. It was started by him and A.J. Jump, a good friend of mine, who's the drummer. And, live band, they're not playing to tracks. They're actually, it's one of the downfalls of live hip-hop sometimes. It's kind of glorified karaoke. But this is a legit band playing, serious hip hop, and they're really good. And I think they're going to kind of blow up. I think it's going to happen for them.
Well, let's play it. This one's from Abstract People. It's called The Show.
It starts with a dream, like stars in the sky, impossible to touch, far too high. I feel differently, dream and do it vividly. Life is made of minutes and every minute's a mystery. Play play it like a symphony. Rearrange the strings so they complement the timpani. Crash from the cymbal, blast from a window, smashed by some frat kid, now they're crescendo. Reset Nintendo, light up the endo. I'm higher than a blimp, I can hardly see the end zone. Floating in the clouds, go ahead and drop the anchor now. Captain of the ship, so my crew won't be taken down. Party like I'm supposed to, sand in my boat shoes. I wanna raise a toast to everyone I'm close to. Yeah, I fall asleep and try to make believe the time's frozen, and keep dreaming with my eyes open. Now inhale, got my mind on recline. I can't see the words on a street sign. Me and my people gonna be fine. Even if we hit a low, you know you can't stop the show. I'm feeling so free, and I got everything I need. We ain't got no money, but we got some time. And even if it's moving slow, you know you can't stop the show. Stop the show, stop the show. You know you can't stop the show. Stop the show, stop the show. Brown liquor. Misfits and posers, holders, rollers, double dosers, midnight tokers. Call me a space cadet, Mr. Roller Coaster. Backpack full of memories on my shoulder. Crazy world we're living in, no time for faking it. Only thing better than having its maids making it. I built this temple off all the shit that I've been through. I learned that if you sleep, these opportunities will skip you. I learned that opportunity's nothing but tomfoolery if you don't have the tools and jewelry to make it fit you. Now I ain't sipping champagne, I'm sipping bourbon. On the curb with a Sprite, word of 3 stacks. I'm certain like that now, fade into the background. Burned a little haze, put my eyes and my hat down. Yeah, I'm rolling 7s with this paradise, and trying to make it to the top, and I ain't scared of heights. Now inhale, got my mind on recline. I can't see the words on a street sign. Me and my people gonna be fine. Even if we hit a low, you know you can't stop the show. I'm feeling so free, and I got everything I need. We ain't got no money, but we got some time. And even if it's moving slow, you know you can't stop the show. Stop the show, stop the show. You know you can't stop the show. Stop the show, stop the show, stop the show, stop the show.
A Fire with Friends here on Music on the Menu Live with a song called My Fine Family. Before that, Rogue Chimp with a song called Critical Mass, and we kicked off the block with Abstract Peoples, a song called The Show. This is Music on the Menu, live on the river here on 104.9 FM, hanging out with Mike Lello and Matt Morgis, talking about the new Snow Tracks compilation, which you can download on Friday through the Highway 81 Revisited website. Mike, you got somebody here with you tonight who we've also known for quite a while now, Matt Morgis, who did some writing for The Weekender when I was there and when you were there as editor, and he's been helping you out with his website. Good to see you, Matt. How you doing down there in Philadelphia?
Yeah, good. Philly's been great. It's definitely different from northeastern PA. But.
It surely is. Tell us a little bit about your involvement with this, with the Highway 1 Revisited project and with the Snow Tracks record.
I was always kind of building websites for friends and stuff throughout high school, and me and my friends at Temple, some other computer science students, started doing it on the side as like a little business, and I reached out to Mike because I thought it would be a fun project to do rather than just building it for corporate businesses and stuff. This was something that I was interested in, but I asked him if I could redo it for him in the summer, and we worked on it. I worked on it from about May till July with three of my other friends. We launched in July, and we've been just kind of helping him out ever since with all the technical work and everything so that he could just focus on the writing.
And are you considering, I mean, you're a very accomplished music journalist yourself. You've been reviewing now. You've been doing it for 5 years?
Yeah, since I was 16 at The Weekender. I shadowed with you and then worked for Mike while he was editor there.
So you're doing some writing as well for Highway?
I haven't. I've been all behind the scenes. I'm just doing all the technical stuff, actually.
Because I know as recently as 2 months ago, you were still reviewing CDs for The Weekend.
Right, yeah. Weekender, Rich, I used to work with at Go Lackawanna when I was doing my writing there.
Rich Howells.
And, the editor there. And I don't know, I kind of have gravitated, ever since I went down to Temple and started studying, I kind of gravitated more towards all the technical computer programming stuff rather than writing. So it's still a great way for me to be involved with music and with the music scene, but I'm kind of behind the scenes now, I guess.
All right, well, I'll tell you, young Jedi, I want to see you doing some articles once in a while, all right?
Yeah, I'm sure there'll be a few times.
Lobo, what do you think of this special? What do you think of what these guys have been doing here? I think it's pretty cool that they've taken a community of musicians and put them all together on this record for Christmas time.
I definitely agree. This is totally what we're all about, getting all these musicians on and heard and having this great music I love hearing the local bands. And they're actually, some of these are names I haven't heard before this, so it was great to be introduced to some new music from the area. Very cool, yeah. Well, a couple of the artists we have played on the show before, obviously Cabinet we play all the time, and the song that we're going to close with is an act that we've played quite a bit over the years. But Mike and Matt not only have introduced the community to some of these bands through this compilation, but certainly the listeners of this show as well. So we thank you very much for bringing in some cool music tonight. We wish you all the best. Again, Mike, remind everybody, Friday it all goes down online, right?
Yep, at highway81revisited.com.
Highway81revisited.com. You can download the Snow Tracks compilation absolutely free. And, of course, there'll be a celebration this weekend in Scranton as part of the event that coincides with Christmas time, right?
Yes, sir. Holiday on the Square.
Yeah, Holiday on the Square. So good stuff. Guys, all the best. Great seeing you. Have a wonderful holiday. And we'll catch you next Sunday night, everybody. We're going to close the show here with a song from OK Patty. Tell us a little bit about this one, Mike.
Well, this one's kind of a personal, special one to me. OK Patty was a really kind of on the cusp of maybe really big things, I'd say, locally, before I moved here. And I moved here, and I heard their albums and really wanted to go see them, and they broke up before I ever had the chance. And they're one of my favorite bands to listen to. But I reached Mike Quinn, one of the two primary singer-songwriters are Mike Quinn and Pat Finnerty.
Sure.
Pat plays a lot of local bars. He's a real character. People probably know who he is. I reached out to Mike, who lives in L.A. now, and said, do you have any songs from any of your various projects you'd like to put on this album? And he said, hey, here's an OK Patty one that we recorded in 2007 for our EP, and I thought it sounds okay to me. I don't know why we ever put it out.
Never released.
Never released. This will be the first time. We put it up on the website. This is the first time it'll be on the radio. And it was supposed to be on the Where You Went, or it was recorded for the Where You Went EP, which came out in 2007, which is the last thing they put out. So this is the first thing OK Patty's released in 6 years.
What's the name of this one, Mike?
It's called Louisa.
Louisa. All right. OK Patty, Louisa, from the Snow Tracks compilation, available Friday. Gentlemen, thanks for coming in. Everybody, thanks for listening. Lobo, thanks for producing. We'll catch you next Sunday night. This one's from OK Patty.